everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are talking about everything you need for your college dorm. So I've compiled a pretty extensive list here and I'm excited to share it with you all. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So I've divided everything into categories, so let's jump right into the first category, which is bedding. So for bedding you need a comforter or blanket, a mattress pad. These will save your life because the dorm mattresses are so uncomfortable, but the foam mattress pads are truly amazing and make things a little bit easier and more comfortable for sure. Then you have sheets and pillows. Of course you can't forget the pillows. You can see all my pillows in my dorm tour video and you need plenty of them for sure. Moving on to electrical appliances. So for this category you need an Ethernet cable, which actually you will use to connect to your laptop or your computer whenever you take a ProctorU exam, because they have to make sure the connection is super steady when you do so. A printer with a USB cable, because we're not allowed to have printers that have wireless printing. It's just not something that US internet supports. A 14 gauge extension cord. So this is typically for like appliances. Like personally I use it to plug in my microwave or my coffee pot, and then I plug my refrigerator straight into the wall because there are specific rules for the dorm and what can be plugged in and what can't be. Next one is a surge protector. These are your friend when it comes to outlets in the dorm, because there are only a couple outlets, but surge protectors allow you to have extra plugins, and granted you can only plug in three cords at the same time, but they're also surge protected, so if there's a power surge or it doesn't ruin your devices, which has happened before, like with lightning or something like that. So surge protector protects you from that. The next one is a flashlight. Obviously we live in Florida, so it wouldn't be a good idea to have a flashlight in case the lights go out. When Hurricane Irma came through in 2017, I was a freshman living with a roommate in my very first dorm, which was Springs, and the lights never went out on us, but I did have a flashlight just in case, because I didn't know what was gonna happen, and that was when Irma really came through the center of Florida. So luckily I was prepared, but it's definitely a good idea to have a flashlight. The next one is kind of optional. It's a TV. So if you're like me and you watch Netflix on your TV instead of your computer, this will be helpful to bring. But if you do this, please make sure that you bring wireless headphones if you're staying in a double suite, because I promise you, your roommate probably won't want to watch the same thing as you. So please bring wireless headphones and be considerate. It's just a good thing to have too. On that note, you definitely want to bring wireless headphones. These are amazing. You'll use them in the library, in study spaces, even sometimes in class when you have to rewatch a video. So, you know, you definitely need wireless headphones too. The next one I have here is a refrigerator. Obviously you're not going to bring like a giant one, although I have known people who have been able to do that, which is pretty cool. However, that most likely won't happen with you and your roommate, so unless you really coordinate it. But a mini fridge will do in a pinch. I have one that is a separate freezer and refrigerator, and I like that one very much because sometimes I feel like the ones with the freezer inside the refrigerator don't keep things frozen as well. Also, I eat a significant amount of frozen dinners this summer, so I need all the freezer space I can get. Okay, the next one is a microwave. Obviously, if you're going to be eating not on the meal plan, or even if you still have the meal plan and bring something home to warm it up, you definitely want a microwave. Most of the dorms do have a microwave in the common area. However, they're not very clean. Yes, they are cleaned by the custodial staff. However, in a college dorm, they do tend to get dirty pretty quickly. The next one is a desk lamp. Please bring this because your roommate will thank you whenever you are ready to go to bed and they aren't, so they can use the desk lamp to continue staying up and studying or doing whatever, and you can turn off the overhead light and make it work. So a desk lamp is also really helpful for when you're trying to read a textbook and it's really hard to read because there's a lot of information and the material might be boring. if you actually shine the light right on the page, it actually does make it easier to get through because you have focus right on it. So I would highly recommend a desk lamp for your dorm as well. Okay, moving on to kitchen items. If you're planning on cooking, you need pots and pans, a dish drainer, and a colander for, say you make spaghetti. And you can drain the noodles off that way, or if you cook ground beef, you can drain the beef off. A pot holder, which is very important. Measuring cup, obviously. Cooking utensils, whatever you might use when you're cooking in your pots and pans. Small containers with lids. So this is my favorite. I was using like plastic containers my first year, but then I switched to glass because it's just healthier in general. And I have these ones from Target that are the Pyrex brand. I'll put a picture right here of what they look like. They're super nice and they're great for holding leftovers or whatever you might cook. So another one is a can opener. Obviously, this has to do kind of with hurricane food too, because we are in Florida after all. I keep canned goods on hand just in case, and that's when I might use a can opener. Also, my freshman year, I went through a period where I bought canned pineapple as the fruit of choice for the week, and I needed a can opener to open that. So that's why you need a can opener for sure. The next area is kind of dishes. So this includes cups, mugs, bowls, and plates. I definitely have kind of gone on and off. Sometimes I use paper plates, sometimes I don't. I recently purchased some cups to use so I'll drink my LaCroix in those. I'll pour it over some ice and drink that, or mugs for coffee, obviously, and then bowls for cereal or whatever soup. And then plates. My mom has some plates that I'm actually bringing this fall for my apartment style dorm that are going to be really nice to use. Next, a coffee machine. Now, you can ignore this if you don't drink coffee, but I promise you in college, you might learn to drink coffee because I'm not saying that there's a lot of late nights, but Starbucks is always busy at UF, and I like Starbucks, but I don't drink Starbucks enough to like say I'm like a fan. I do like Starbucks on occasion. If someone gives me like a $10 gift card, I will gladly go to Starbucks and get myself a coffee or two. But a Keurig is another alternative to that and actually will save you some money in the long run if you do drink coffee at home. So continuing on with kitchen items, I have here silverware, which is an obvious one, and then cleaning supplies. So you obviously are going to have to wash your own dishes or sometimes even vacuum your own dorm. You definitely want to bring that with you so that you are able to do that on your own. So continuing on with the list, next we have personal items. So this includes clothes. Do not bring your entire closet. I can promise you, you're not going to wear everything in your closet. We are in Florida after all. It is hot most of the year, so don't bring all your winter clothes. If anything, go home during Christmas break and bring clothes back for the Florida winter in January and February, and then also transition to spring clothes. That way you don't have all of your clothes clogging up your closet, and I can promise you the closet space is not endless, so it's probably not nearly as big as your closet is at home, but you definitely want to limit the amount of clothes you bring. Now, you don't have to be super frugal with the amount, but definitely take that into consideration, especially if you don't know what the closet size will be. Okay, continuing on, you need detergent for doing laundry, as well as a laundry basket, an umbrella, a poncho, rain boots. Those three are key. If you saw in my college backpack essentials video, I touched on those three things because it does rain a lot in Rainsville. So you also need towels and washcloths, toiletries, a shower caddy, which you can typically use the one that you might have already in your own shower that's made out of metal. This one will work perfectly, especially if you are in a suite style dorm. You can just hang it on the shower curtain rod and then hang it back in your room wherever you are. So the next thing I have on here is a pair of shower shoes. Granted, you could just use a pair of old flip-flops because I haven't actually, I'm not really sure what the difference is between shower shoes and flip-flops, but if you are living in a dorm, you definitely do want to have some sort of a pair of shoes to wear in the shower. You also might need a robe too, and then a lanyard for your keys, but don't let it be the one that they give you at preview. I personally have like a Vera Bradley one that I've had for years, and for a while I had one that we just had. It was a US Navy keychain, something that you know is yours, so that if you do lose your keys, you can easily spot them, because everyone will probably have one that is a gator one. So you definitely want to avoid that. The next one is medicine. This one is not something that everybody thinks about, but it's definitely a good thing to have. First aid and medicine that you know you will need if you get sick. Me personally, I tend to get sick in the fall semester, so I always have Dayquil and Mucinex on hand, just so that I can get through the day and continue working hard on my studies. Moving on to another category, which is organizing and decor. So you definitely need plenty of organizers. You saw in my room tour video that there were plenty of bins and plastic things to put stuff in, because you don't get a lot of storage space on your own. So it's definitely important to bring that stuff, because you will need extra storage space in your dorm, especially if you have a bed where you can loft it and be able to store stuff underneath it. That will be extremely helpful. Okay, the next thing is 3M command hooks. So command strips are like the end all be all when it comes to dorms, unless you're in an apartment where you'll be able to actually put nails in the wall, or Infinity Hall. In this case, they do allow you to put nails in the wall. You are not allowed to put nails in the wall in your dorm unless you live in Infinity Hall. But so command strips are the way to go. They have all kinds of varieties, many different ones. My first year, I kind of held off on purchasing them initially because I didn't really know what I was doing, but my second and third year, I went a little bit crazy and bought every kind of command hook possible, because I knew that I was going to be hanging a lot of stuff in my dorm. So those work really nicely. I have found that they actually do stay up. There's a questionable one when it comes to hanging your keys on a command hook, because it doesn't always stay up if you don't affix it to the wall right, but they don't damage the wall at all, and you are good to go when it comes time to check out. So you definitely need those for your college dorm. Another one is hangers. Do not forget hangers. Unless you fold all of your clothes, which if you have a suit, you probably won't do that, but definitely bring hangers, and bring space-saving hangers if you can, because again, the closets do vary in size and they typically are kind of small. Another one is a mirror. I actually didn't buy a mirror until around my birthday of freshman year, so I bought one from Target. It was an over-the-door mirror, and it works nicely. It's nice and big, and you can of course check your outfit before you leave the dorm. Okay, and then another one is kind of a broad category, but any decor you want. Like you can see this thing behind me. I've got this little wall thing for my window, and then also my lamp. So decor and can include a variety of things. It basically depends on what your style is and what you like. You can even see my tapestry behind me. So usually whatever you want to do, don't forget to bring stuff that will make the dorm feel like home to you. And do remember that if you are sharing a room, you only get to decorate half of the dorm. So if you might want to collaborate with your roommate, definitely reach out to them ahead of time if you want to do that. So that concludes the personal items category. So now let's move on to school supplies, which is what you're here for anyways. So I have like some general stuff on here. So a stapler, a pencil sharpener. I'm gonna show you guys the pencil sharpener that I have. Hold on just a second. Okay, so this pencil sharpener is the one that all the teachers had, at least where I went to school. They had this one in their classroom. $25 on Amazon. It is the most amazing pencil sharpener. Now granted, I only have the pencil sharpener and only need it whenever I take Scantron exams, or where I have to actually physically write something out in class. Most of the time the work is on the computer, and then you print it out and bring it to your professor. But for those days when you do have a Scantron exam, this pencil sharpener will not let you down. This is the best $25 that I ever spent, and if I end up becoming a professor one day or a teacher, I will definitely have this in my classroom or even at my desk whenever I start working full time. This is definitely a staple and it's so worth the money, so I highly recommend it. Okay, continuing on the route. So another thing is a hole puncher. You definitely want that. Paper, obviously. Another one is a laptop. This is an obvious one. Stay tuned for my laptop accessories that you definitely need for college. That video is coming very soon. I am personally an Apple girl, but I have had Windows in the past, and I can say both computers will serve you well and get the job done, especially for college. My first 2 years I used a Windows computer, and then now, since I started at UF, I have used a Mac. So I like both, and I think they are both great machines, and I highly recommend that you do shop the back to school sales. I know that Apple and Best Buy both run sales on their products, so that would be a good time to shop it. Finally, the last two things you need are scissors and tape. That covers it all. I think I touched on just about everything you might need for college. If I forgot anything, don't forget to list it down in the comments down below. And also, I'm going to post this on my blog, aroundtheswamp.com, so you can have a nice cohesive list of everything you need for college. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.